Welcome back to the Hillbilly RV channel. I am at the Mud Pit ATV resort here in southern West Virginia. Man, telling you, there ain't no mud. There ain't no mud pit. This is a really nice campground. Got several RV spots, nice and level, full of hookups. They got cabins. It's a really nice place. A lot of these ATV resorts here on the Hatfield-McCoy ATV trail are outside of my service area, but this one's not. And this is a really nice place. Now these folks here, they just pulled in yesterday to enjoy their UTV sitting beside the camper. They want to ride the Hatfield-McCoy trail, but there's something going on with their converter. It is not charging the batteries. And without the batteries, none of the 12-volt stuff work. None of the controls for the HVAC. So the furnace is not working. You know, a lot of stuff. I plan to do a tech talk video soon, talking about a very, very basic RV electrical systems. The difference between the DC and the AC, how they're connected, how they're not connected. So this kind of be a prelude to that, because we're going to go in here and see if we can figure out what's going on. Hopefully Sadie the dog will let us go in here and video, and it won't be barking and getting in the way. But let's go in here and see what we can do with this thing. See if we can figure out what's up with it. See if we can get them going for the next few days. I'm sure they're not going to be here very long. Probably just a few days. And see if we got enough parts on the old truck here to get them going. So let's go ahead and get started. This is one of those converters that had a switch right here that I believe is going to be, yeah, Li, lithium ion, was to the left, and LA was the right. I don't know. That would have been a wet cell battery to the right. Looks like you would have, I don't know, maybe, I can't tell which way's on and which way's the other way, but it used to have a switch here that switched from lithium ion battery to a wet cell. The gentleman thought he had a problem and he pulled this off the board, and now it ain't charging. So we need to figure out how we can get him going. I'm probably going to bridge across this where this switch used to go and see, because I don't know whether it's going to be on, if we just bridge it over with something, is that going to be lithium ion or is that going to be wet cell? So let's see if we can figure that out. I got my meter set up here, just checking the battery voltage. It does have a solar charger, so the solar's putting a little bit in those batteries. So the batteries are good, 12.5. Let's I got a little jumper wire. I'm trying to jump over where that switch used to be, and let's see what our meter does. Alright, we hear the fan on the converter come on. My hand's in the way, but there's two yellow lights on that board. So let's see if this voltage goes up here in a second. I would think it would have been instantaneous, but it is not. So is there a possibility that the converter is just not working? Because it's definitely not charging the batteries. Yeah, I would think it would be instantaneous. I wouldn't think there would be a delay on that of any kind. Let me get right up here. This is actually the power coming out of the board. Oh, now look here. We've got 13.7 coming out of the board right now. Let's see. Because this is cable going to the battery. This is the power coming out of the board. Hopefully y'all can see what I'm doing. So when we bridge that across, it's 14.6. So that's going to be lithium ion. This, without the jumper wire, should be for wet cell batteries, which is what these folks have on this trailer. I hope y'all can see. Probably can't see nothing. I suck at videoing. So what does that mean? Well, that means for some reason the power is not getting from the board to the battery. These are your anti-polarity fuses right here. What these do, y'all can't see nothing. Look, now you can sort of see. I was checking these fuses. These are your anti-polarity fuses, and I think these are bad. Yes. Yeah, they're both blown. And what these do is, if you hook a battery up backwards, you have anti-polarity, it pops in fuses. It seems like the battery's hooked up correctly now, because if it were backwards now, we'd have a negative 12.51. So the battery's hooked up right now. So let me go grab a couple of 30 amp fuses. We'll put them there and see if we don't get battery voltage to the battery at that point. Y'all following along? Put this back down here on the battery side. Let me go grab a couple fuses. I'll be right back. I got some 30 amp fuses here.
Do those 30 amp fuses don't have the yellow light next to
them? No, not the anti-polarity ones. Okay. You can see they're severely blown.
Yeah.
So, folks, let's see if I know anything at all. Hopefully you can see that meter. So like I say, that is battery voltage right now. Let's pop a fuse in there. We'll go to 13.5. It shouldn't change. I don't really know why they put 2, but they typically do use 2. So hopefully you can see we're 13.59, which is great for a wet cell battery. So that's going to be it on this one, actually, because that little switch that the customer thought was a good idea to remove is just for the lithium ion. So without the switch in the system, it's already set up for the wet cell. So this is pretty quick, easy, but you got to have a meter. You got to know how to use it. So if you don't have a meter, go to my website, my new website, hillbillyrv.net, and go to the, I think it's going to be a shop tab. Go to my Amazon store. I've got meters in there. I've got the leads that I use. Everything's in there, along with a lot of parts and other tools. Go check that out. And I'm going to button this up, and I'm going to get out these nice folks' hair and let them enjoy the Hatfield-McCoy Trail. Y'all have a fantastic day. Got a little bonus video for you. Overtime video. Those people were so much fun. He was, you know, me and his wife was cutting up with him and picking on him, and he was laughing at himself, and we were laughing at him, and you know, just, you know, that's, most of my customers are like that. They're just such good people, fun people to be around. You know, they understand life is messy. You know, sometimes things go wrong. Sometimes we do stupid things. We just laugh at ourselves, pay whatever it costs to fix it, and life moves on, and everybody's happy, right? They just kind of got lucky that the converter defaulted to lead acid battery, wet cell battery, when he grabbed that switch with a pair of pliers. And I got the rest of the story after I cut the camera off, so that's kind of what I'm going to do here, because I think it was kind of, it was just a series of unfortunate incidences that led to all this mess. Yeah, so let me tell you, they got the camper out of storage just the other day, and the gentleman takes the battery off of the trailer whenever he puts it in storage. So they've had the camper for a few years, so he took the battery on and off several times. He knows how it goes back on. But that day, he had his son with him because it was his son's birthday, and his wife and his mother had planned a surprise birthday party for him. So it was Dad's job to get him out of the house so they could finish decorating or planning or whatever for the party, right? So Dad took the son with him. So he had charged the battery, so it was a fully charged battery, and he probably told son, he said, hey, grab that battery out of the garage, throw it in the truck, let's go get my camper out of storage. So that's what they did. So when they got there, rather than Dad putting the battery on like he's probably done many times, Junior jumped in there, said, I'll get that battery, and puts that battery on and hooks it up backwards. And everybody knew immediately that he put it on backwards. Big spark, and he's like, ooh. So they've hooked it up right. Like I said, it's fully charged battery. So they looked inside, everything was good. So they thought, oh great, we dodged a bullet. So then they wait a day or two or whatever, travel to West Virginia. As soon as they get to their site, hook up, turn everything on, the battery starts going low. And modern campers, they do not like a low battery. So the furnace wasn't working. He was getting I didn't even know this, was a Furrion thermostat, and when he tried to run the furnace would come on, the fan would come on. I don't think it ever ignited. And it would run for just 30 seconds or so, and he'd get an LO, low voltage apparently, on the thermostat. So they didn't have any heat last night. But everything else seemed to be okay. He had a 12-volt refrigerator. When they realized what was going on, they didn't use any lights, didn't use any 12-volt. They saved that for the refrigerator. Like I said, once the sun come out today, he's got a little bit of solar, so it was keeping the battery up enough to keep the 12-volt, I think it was a Furrion refrigerator, kept it going, so they didn't lose any food. But so yeah, you don't always get all the story, but I actually got all the story on this one. I just thought it was kind of ironic, just a whole series of unfortunate incidents led to this. And in the guy's defense, he did find several bad fuses. He found one in the fuse box there, and when these WIFCO converters, if the fuse is blown, you'll have a red LED beside of it. So he changed that. He found a bad glass fuse on the radio and the tankless water heater, replaced those, and then he still wasn't getting good voltage, and there was 2 yellow lights beside that switch, which says it was actually in lithium-ion mode. So he thought, well, when the fuse over here is bad, get a red light. When this fuse is bad, those 2 yellow lights must come on. So he grabbed it with a pair of pliers and yanked it off the board. Turned out to be the switch for the lithium-ion. And but unbeknownst to him, he did not even know about those anti-polarity fuses. He didn't know to check them. So that's what we did. We got him going. Life is good. They're going to enjoy the rest of their week in southern West Virginia, riding the Hatfields and McCoy Trail. Hopefully they have a good, safe week. And hopefully y'all have a good, safe week, month, year, whatever. And that's it for this bonus footage, the overtime footage. And y'all have a great day. We'll catch you next time.